The college football season is finally here, and we are just over 48 hours away from the big Georgia-Clemson game. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready for it to be here, but I've got to make one final video for you guys breaking down my 5 keys to the game, how Georgia beats Clemson. I came up with 5 things, so let's get ready to roll. First, Georgia has to get pressure on DJ. I have not finalized and perfected his last name yet, so I'm not going to try to do that again in this video. So I'm going to call him DJ. Clemson starting quarterback was very good last year when he played. But if you go back and watch some of the Boston College game, when they got pressure on him, he made mistakes. His mechanics were off. He was not very accurate. And we know Georgia has the pass rushers in this game on this roster, experienced veteran guys who have already proven that they can get after the quarterback. If they can get pressure on DJ, he is going to make some mistakes. Now, I do expect him to throw for 400 plus yards. To have a really good game through the air. I think Georgia's secondary is a little suspect still, especially at cornerback. So they're going to get their passing yards in. They're not going to be able to run the ball. I actually think they're going to run for less than 75 yards in this game. But DJ is he's going to have a game. He's going to look great, and he's going to look like a future first-round pick, in my opinion. But if they can just get some pressure on him, I know it's easier said than done, but pressure on him, especially early, is going to get in his head. It's going to throw his mechanics off. He's not perfect. He's still somewhat unknown. Yeah, he did really well against Notre Dame and played well against Boston College, but there are some parts of that game where you watch and you say, okay, this guy can make mistakes. He didn't throw an interception last year, but if you get enough pressure on him, the mistakes are bound to happen. Number one, if they want to hold Clemson to under 30 points in this game, getting to the quarterback is going to be crucial. Number 2, X factor, James Cook. Georgia has got to get this guy the football. He needs to be a big presence in the backfield and out of the backfield catching the ball. Clemson does not have a lot of guys who can run with this dude. If you look in the secondary and at linebacker, there are some 3-stars there, and they're 3-stars for a reason. They're smart and intellectual players. They're great for Clemson system. Very instinctive guys, but they're not runners. There's a reason they weren't 5-star guys out of high school like James Cook. If they can find a matchup with a middle linebacker on him or one of their slower safeties, I guess, Georgia has to take advantage of that. This is a guy who could be the defining factor and an impact guy for Georgia's offense. All the backs need carries. They all need to touch the ball, but James Cook is a guy who they should have multiple plays drawn up specifically for him. Got to get him the football. I do think he could be an X factor in this game. Number 3, probably not a hot take at all. Whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win this game. I expect both offenses to turn it over at least once. Which team turns it over a second time? How many, who turns it over 3 times, and when do they do it? If you turn the ball over twice in the first half and you're still in the game at halftime, that's great. Whoever makes the mistakes in the fourth quarter, I think that's going to be who loses this game. I think it's going to come down to the final 2 drives. The turnover battle is key. And again, if Georgia can get pressure, I think his inaccuracy could lead to some interceptions. More often than not, if a team gets an interception, it's because something happened up front. There was some pressure, the ball's tipped, or someone hits the quarterback's arm, it's a float, or someone grabs it that way. There's a lot of ways it can happen, and I expect both teams to turn the ball over, again, at least once. Is there a team that turns it over 2 or 3 times? That's what we're going to find out. I think it could very well happen, and you don't want to be the team that does it in the fourth quarter. So those are my 3 keys. Number 4, special teams. I'm a special teams guy. I think it is so important. It's the reason Georgia ended up winning against Cincinnati in the Peach Bowl. Georgia has great special teams. They returned the ball very well in the kickoff return game last year. I expect Kenny McIntosh to make some plays there. I think Georgia's going to make at least 1, probably 2 big special teams plays in this game, and that really could be the factor. I think it's going to be a low-scoring first half, maybe a field position battle, so Jake Kamara is going to have some opportunities to absolutely boom some. He cannot be inconsistent. Every once in a while, we'll see him shank one off the foot, and he goes 15 yards, then he comes back and bombs a 65-yarder. He has got to be consistent, and Jack Podlesny, what more can you say? He hit the clutch kick of his life in the last game they played. I think he's kind of a cool as a cucumber type out right now, so I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him at all. But overall, I give Georgia the edge in special teams, and I think they are going to make a couple plays there that maybe possibly change the game. So definitely something to look for there. My final one, which wide receiver is going to make a play? Eventually, one of these guys, Georgia's going to be a moment where it's a big 3rd and long in the 4th quarter to either, continue the scoring and keep it up and put the game away, or to get back into the game. But either way, one of these wide receivers is going to be given an opportunity to make a big play in this game. Someone's got to do it. There's no Eric Gilbert. There's no George Pickens. Jermaine Burton I think he's close to 100%. I don't think he's fully 100%. He might have an opportunity. Adonai Mitchell, the freshman, I think he's going to get quite a few targets in this game. Is he the guy they go to late in the game? But I do think there's going to be 1 or even 2 plays, 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, with the game on the line. And Georgia's going to have to throw the football. You can't throw it to the backs every time, even though they should rely on the running backs in the passing game a good bit, in my opinion. But one of these receivers is going to have to step up and make a play. Maybe it's Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint. Maybe it's Kyrus Jackson. I don't think he's 100% either right now, but he's going to be out there. One of these guys is going to have to make a play, and if they do, you have to like Georgia's chances if 1 or 2 of these guys step up and have kind of a breakout game. But overall, there's a lot of ways you can look at this game. But again, I think if Georgia can get some pressure on DJ, especially early, knock his confidence a little bit, that's going to be big, because I think that might force, maybe 1 or 2 of those turnovers, especially late in the game, that they're going to need. Get James Cook the football. He came back for a reason. He can help you in the passing game. There's not a lot of defenders for Clemson who can match up well with this guy. I think he's a definite mismatch and a guy that needs to touch the football. Got to win the turnover battle. They're going to happen. These defenses are too good. Who turns it over more and who turns it over late in the game is going to be huge. Special teams, got to make those. I think Georgia sets up well. They're kicking, punting in the return game. I think Georgia's going to make a play or 2 there. And then, of course, they got to have someone step up at wide receiver. Who is it? Who do they go to with the game on the line when they need a big first down? Is it going to be up to the scheme where the guy's open, or if they're going to be looking for someone specifically in that moment? Someone's going to have an opportunity to make a play. It needs to be made if they're going to win this game. So those are my 5 final thoughts, final X factors for the game. And if Georgia can, win and get 3 or 4 of those top 5, impact things for me, I think they're going to come out with a win on Saturday night. So it's been fun covering this game and trying to break it down the last 8 months. Hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you on the Riding Home edition after the game. So make sure you stay tuned to that. It's one of our best, most fun videos that we do throughout the year. So I'm excited to break the game down with you, and I'll see you on the next video.